We're in the middle of the story of Bali. Bali was this incredibly powerful demon, and actually quite a likeable character, I think, although in the traditional Hindu stories he was a bit of a thorn in Vishnu's side, as we'll find out. But Bali, who was around for billions of years and ruled various realms, or ruled the whole universe at times, has given way to dispassion. He's no longer interested in the daily routine. He's no longer interested in pursuing his pleasures, whether it's to do with wealth, desires, or sexual pleasures. He's no longer interested. And his guru, Sukra, came by and gave him the teaching on consciousness. It was quite a brief teaching, because Sukra was in a hurry. After Sukra left, Bali reflected thus. Now what we've got here is quite a good description of the cognitive process, the process of conceptualization, whereby we form our notions of about what is going on. What my preceptor said to me was indeed correct and appropriate. Surely all that is consciousness, and there is naught else. It is when that infinite consciousness entertains the concept, this is sun, that the sun is distinguished from darkness. It is consciousness that distinguishes light from darkness. It is consciousness that cognizes earth as earth, the directions in space as such directions, and the whole world as the world. If consciousness did not recognize a mountain, would it exist as a mountain? And the answer is no, it wouldn't. Existence is a part of consciousness. And you might think, well, of course it will exist. Let's just say the whole human race disappeared. Or let's say the planet Earth disappeared. Would the sun still exist? It wouldn't exist. There's nobody to say it existed. We can hypothesize some kind of universe without the earth in it, without human beings in it. But that's what it is, it's a hypothesis. We've deduced the possibility or inferred the possibility that it will exist. But it's an inference. It's a logical deduction. It's something, and that exists in our own consciousness. That hypothesis exists in our own consciousness. The hypothesis exists, and the division exists. The division of experiencing into these notions of mountain, sun, light, darkness, directions. They're created by the mind, created by consciousness in its conceptualization mode. Consciousness itself is all this, including the senses, the body, the desires that arise in the mind, whatever is within and whatever is outside, space and even changing phenomena. Consciousness constructs these notions. It constructs notions of the senses, of the body, and so on. It is indeed on account of that consciousness that I am able to come into contact with the objects and experience them, not because of the body itself. Regardless of the body, I am consciousness, which is the self of the entire universe. It's not because of the body that we come into contact with objects. There's the conceptualization of the object, and then we conceptualize a notion of how we perceive the object. So we conceptualize a notion of perception and all the rest of it. Since consciousness exists one without a second, who is my friend and who is my enemy? Even if the head of the body, known as Bali, is cut off, does the infinite consciousness lose its head? Even hate and other such qualities are but modifications of consciousness. Hence again there is neither hate nor attachment, neither mind nor its modifications. Since the consciousness is infinite and absolutely pure, how can perversions arise in it? Consciousness is not its name, it is but a word, it has no name. And you might be wondering, how can we say it's infinite and absolutely pure? That's apparent through direct realization. It's infinite because there's an infinite number of things which can arise in it, both in terms of what we might call objects of the external world and also mental objects. Awareness is capable of infinite variety. It's like a mirror. A mirror can reflect anything. So we could say a mirror's got infinite potential for what it can reflect. This is the same as consciousness, as our consciousness. And it's absolutely pure, in the same way that a mirror is pure. A mirror isn't damaged by any of the things it reflects. It simply reflects things. A mirror doesn't get worn out by reflecting things. You wouldn't say, let's put the mirror in an empty room so we don't wear it out with having to reflect things. So it's pure. It's untainted by its reflections. And it's saying here, consciousness is not its name, it is but a word. We don't want to start thinking of consciousness as a thing. We don't want to start conceptualizing consciousness. It's consciousness that is doing the conceptualizing. And this is what we can look to right now. Look to our own consciousness, look to our own awareness, our self, our attention, turn our attention on the attention. What is the attention? Answer this question. Answer this question by direct observation.